Hi, hello and welcome to another Whip Basics video. This time it's about a snake whip. Why not precisely a snake whip? This is a little bit more. Okay, from the beginning. Before I'm going to tell you everything about this one, about this beauty here, here are a few pictures. Just a few impressions of Giovanni Celeste's new project, SnakeBull. The difference is between a snake whip and a bullwhip. The bullwhip usually has a longer handle that gives it a better leverage. I mean, just look at the Australian style bullwhips. They have a very, very long handle. And the longer the handle, the better the leverage. The more, well, let's call it controllable the whip will be. But the problem with a bullwhip is, if you like to call it a problem, I think it's a matter of preference, but due to the longer handle, you can't just store away a bullwhip. The handle is longer, and so it just needs more space, kind of. And that's the point where the snake whip kicks in. The snake whip, you can like this, you bring it here all together, and then this is everything you have. That means even if you have not a big bag, you can put a snake whip, for example, in a backpack. When you have a coat with wider pockets, you just can store it away right in there. That is a good thing. If you say, okay, I just want to go out, just crack a little bit, just playing around something. Well, this is a very, very handy thing, because you don't need much space for that thing. But the handle. A snake whip usually has no handle. That makes it very hard to control a snake whip. Yeah. Best of both worlds, right? And that means Giovanni Celeste, he calls himself the Italian whip maker. I always call him the European whip maker. He put together two aspects. The design of the snake whip, being very, very small. You can coil it very, very tight. You can store it away, and the leverage of a bullwhip. he did this. Usually a snake whip has no handle, no reinforcement in the handle. This one has. Don't get me wrong, it's not a handle that goes up like this, because then it would be a bullwhip again. No, the handle here, the reinforcement is about here. It goes right about here. That's that length. This leverage here, it is, of course, you can't compare it with the bullwhip with a leverage like this. This is nonsense. But with this little reinforcement here in the handle, you can definitely control that whip much better than the usual snake whip. It is made from roo, it's kangaroo leather, roo hide. It has a nice white hide fall. The fall hitch is a very important thing. You know, I'm quite nitpicky on these things, absolutely. And there is a Whip Basics video. I think it's one of the Whip Basics shorts. If you're familiar with the Whip Basics video, there are lots of them. And there is a small series called Whip Basics Shorts. In the Whip Basics Shorts, I talk about a certain aspect of whips. And I have a Whip Basics short that is focused on the fall hitch. The fall hitch is a very important thing. It is mostly completely underestimated, underrated, because, well, it's just the point where the braided part ends and the fall begins. Yeah. But this is the connection between both. And so this is not just a fall hitch. This is a very important part of the whip. And so is this area, the last few inches that come before the fall hitch. Let me explain. Do you know Chinese finger traps? These things, you know, you put your fingers into on both sides, and you will never bring them out, because if you push together, it opens like this, and the moment you pull, it tightens, and you are trapped. So, just take it one hand here, right here where the braided part goes into the fall hitch. Here, a few inches, 3 inches away here, and then you just do this. You push the whole thing. You push it, okay? You push, okay? Good. And if this happens, as you can see, you see nothing, and that's what you should see. It is a stable, very tight plaited part. Mostly those last few inches before the fall hitch, there is no core. So you have just the strands plaited around each other, no core, nothing. And when you do this, you grab it here, you hold it here, you push it together, and then you turn it a little bit like this on this direction. I'll show you again here. You push, and then you do this, and you do this, and it happens nothing. And again, that means the plaiting is very, very good. The plaiting is more than solid. But this is not a thing where I say, oh wow, the plaiting is good. This is what I expect, and this is what you should expect, by the way. So, where I've seen whips, I had these last few inches in my hands. I pushed them together. I turned them a little bit like that, and all the strands went like whee, like this, like the famous Chinese finger trap. And that means no good at all. Okay, so you should try that all the time. So, enough of that. I'm going to show you a little example how this little beauty behaves. just be careful. It is a very well made whip. It's a lightweighted whip, and that means it is fast. Interesting enough, you can do your different routines. You should probably not try to be too fast, because like I said, there is a leverage in here. It's not too much, but again, sorry for repeating myself, but this is the fulcrum of everything here on that whip. It's on the reinforcement on the handle, which is the key on that whip. It is not as precise as a target whip with such a long handle, but compared to the standard Snakewhip, it is very precise. Very interesting thing. I know there are people who say, I prefer a Snakewhip over any Bullwhip. Yes, and I know people who say, no, Snakewhips, they are not precise enough for me. I don't know, Okay, so much for this. This is the so-called SnakeBull by Giovanni Celeste, the Italian, the European whip maker. If you're interested in that whip, just contact the whip maker, Mr. Celeste, write him an email, and then you can talk directly to the master about the SnakeBull. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and bye.